What's up,
Hi
Noel?
Miles, how are you?
Hey, Riz Life, great to hear from you. Just hanging out, being a conversational AI. What's up? Ready to blow those YouTube minds with the sentiment analysis podcast?
Yes, exactly. Understanding the foundation of sentiment analysis is a key, and at its core, it's about machine interpreting human feelings, either it's positive or negative or neutral, through the
You're spot
text.
on.
So it uses the techniques from NLP, natural language processing, and machine learning, and even deep learning by processing the language data from the social media reviews, news. More systems can extract emotional tone and intent at a scale. So,
That's one.
Miles, can you give me the answer of this question? What exactly is sentiment analysis, and how does it works at a technical level?
You bet. So, sentiment analysis at its core is like giving a computer a crash course in human emotion. It's about teaching machines to understand the feelings behind the words we use. Think of it like this: you read a tweet that says, "This new phone is amazing." A sentiment analysis tool would pick up on words like amazing and understand that the overall sentiment expressed is positive. It does this by using fancy techniques from natural language processing, imagine
Mm,
NLP, as the translator between human languages and computer code. It helps the machine break down the text into pieces it can understand. Then comes machine learning. Think of it as teaching the machine by example. We feed it tons of text data that's already been labeled with its sentiment, positive, negative, or neutral. The machine learns to spot patterns in the language that correspond to these feelings. And for tougher problems, like understanding sarcasm or subtle nuances, we bring in deep learning. It's like giving the machine a supercharged brain that can learn even more complex relationships within the text. So, basically, sentiment analysis combines these powerful tools to help machines feel what humans feel through their words. Does that make sense?
great. We live in the time where data is everywhere, but raw data is not useful without interpretation. Sentiment analysis gives emotional meaning to text data, as you know, so making it more actionable. Why is sentiment analysis important in the current digital and data-driven era?
You nailed it. Data is like raw ingredients. It's everywhere, but it doesn't mean much until you cook something delicious with it. That's where sentiment analysis comes in. It's like having a
Exactly.
secret decoder ring for understanding the online world. Imagine a company constantly scanning social media for mentions of their brand. Sentiment analysis lets them know if people are loving their product, hating it, or somewhere in between. It can help them identify problems before they blow up, find raving fans to spread the word, or tailor their marketing to resonate with their audience. But it's not just for businesses. Think about researchers studying public opinion, politicians trying to gauge voter sentiment, or even just everyday folks wanting to understand the emotional landscape of current events. Sentiment analysis gives us a powerful tool for navigating this data saturated world and making sense of the vast sea of information out there. It literally gives a voice to the unheard emotions hidden within the text.
Exactly.
So it sounds like you're really getting into it. What's the next burning question your listeners need answered?
I think the customer experience defines brand loyalty. Companies are turning to sentiment analysis to monitor reviews, feedback, and social media in real time. How are businesses using sentiment analysis to improve customer services and brand management?
Boom, you're hitting on a huge point. Businesses are realizing that happy customers are repeat customers, and sentiment analysis is becoming their secret weapon for keeping those smiles coming. Imagine this: a customer tweets a complaint about a faulty product. With sentiment analysis, the company's AI can instantly spot the negative sentiment and flag the tweet for immediate attention. A customer service rep can jump in, offer a solution, and maybe even turn that frowns upside down before things escalate. But it's not just about firefighting, it's about being proactive. Think about a restaurant chain using sentiment analysis to monitor online reviews. They notice a lot of people mentioning slow service in one location. Bam! They can send a manager to investigate and make adjustments before the bad reviews start scaring away potential customers. And it's not just about fixing problems, it's about understanding what makes customers tick. Sentiment analysis can highlight what people love about a brand, which features they crave, and what makes them feel loyal. This gives companies the insights they need to build better products, craft better marketing campaigns, and ultimately create a customer experience that's second to none. You're on a roll. I'm envisioning all sorts of businesses using this stuff. What's your audience curious about next?
Social media is the heartbeat of the public opinion. Real-time sentiment tracking allows the governments, NGOs, and companies to measure uh, public reaction instantly. How does sentiment analysis play a role in analyzing social media trends and public opinion?
That's a crucial point. You know how the news cycle moves at warp speed these days. Sentiment analysis is practically essential for staying ahead of the curve. Think of it like having your finger on the pulse of public opinion. It's you got politicians gauging voter sentiment on hot button issues, NGOs tracking public response to their campaigns, even companies analyzing consumer reactions to new product releases. Let me give you a real world example. A new policy is announced, and people are buzzing about it on Twitter or Facebook. Sentient analysis tools can sift through those millions of posts, tweets, and comments, literally analyzing the emotional tone behind each one. It will reveal if public opinion leans towards support, criticism, or confusion. This kind of instant feedback is invaluable. It can help governments adjust their communication strategies, NGOs refine their messages, and businesses avoid PR nightmares. It's basically a real time barometer for understanding what's hot, what's not, and what's about to blow up. Pretty powerful stuff, huh?
Hmm.
So your
So,
listeners are probably hooked by that.
so
I can feel the
in finance, emotions can more markets. Trends and analysts use sentiment analysis for news and Twitter to predict market movements. So, what are the some key application of sentiment analysis in the financial and stock market sectors?
You're on to something. Money talks, and sentiment speaks volumes in the finance world. You're right, stock prices don't just move on numbers, emotions play a huge role. Think of it like this: skittish investors buzzing with fear can trigger a sell off, while excited chatter about a new product launch can drive up a stock price. Sentiment analysis is becoming a secret weapon for investors and analysts trying to predict these emotional tides. Imagine sophisticated algorithms coming through news articles, financial reports, and social media chatter, gauging the overall sentiment towards specific companies or the market as a whole. If the algorithm detects increasing fear and pessimism, it might signal a potential downturn. Conversely, a surge in optimism and excitement could suggest an upward swing. But it's not just about predicting. Sentiment analysis can also help identify hidden opportunities. Think about a small biotech company developing a promising new drug. Positive sentiment among analysts and researchers could foreshadow a potential breakthrough, making it an attractive investment. It's like having a sixth sense for the market, helping investors make smarter, more informed decisions. Still early days, but the potential is huge. As sentiment analysis gets more sophisticated, it could revolutionize the way we understand and navigate the often whimsical world of finance.
Mm. The
I'm starting to think that
healthcare industry is starting to tap into sentiment analysis for patient feedbacks, mental health monitoring, and public health trends. So, how is sentiment analysis being applied into the healthcare sector and especially for the mental health insights?
you're right on the pulse of something big. Healthcare has a unique set of challenges, and sentiment analysis is proving to be a powerful ally. It's not just about deciphering medical jargon, it's about understanding the human experience of health and illness. Think about it: patient feedback. Hospitals are using sentiment analysis to comb through patient surveys and online reviews. It helps them identify pain points in the patient experience, highlight areas for improvement, and ensure patients feel heard and valued. Mental health monitoring. This is where things get really interesting. Imagine an app that analyzes the tone of your text messages and social media posts to detect early signs of depression or anxiety. Sounds futuristic, but researchers are making headway in this area. Sentiment analysis could be a valuable tool for proactively identifying individuals who may need support, connecting them with resources, and ultimately breaking down the stigma surrounding mental health. Public
Mm,
health trends. During outbreaks or health crises, sentiment analysis can track public sentiment towards specific diseases, treatments, or health recommendations. This can help public health officials craft more effective communication strategies, identify misinformation, and tailor their response to community needs. It's still early days for sentiment analysis in healthcare, but the potential is immense. It's about moving beyond just treating physical ailments and embracing a more holistic approach that considers the emotional well being of patients.
Hmm. Okay, my next question is about elections are no longer just about polls. AI is analyzing voter sentiments through tweets, speeches, and debates. In what ways is sentiment analysis uses politics and electoral campaigns?
You're hitting on another hot topic. Forget just looking at poll numbers. Sentiment analysis is changing the game for politicians and campaign strategists. Think of it as tapping into the collective mood of the electorate. Candidate performance. Imagine an AI analyzing every word a candidate utters during a debate or rally. By tracking sentiment, it can reveal how effectively they're connecting with the audience. Are their promises resonating with hope and excitement, or are their attacks provoking anger and distrust? Issue tracking, forget just knowing what issues voters care about. Sentiment analysis can reveal how they feel about them. Are people expressing fear about the economy, anger about social injustice, hope for the future? This level of understanding helps campaigns tailor their messaging and focus on the issues that matter most to voters. Swing voter identification. Pretty cool stuff. Algorithms can comb through social media data, identifying users who express mixed or undecided opinions. Argan- these swing voters become prime targets for targeted advertising and personalized messages designed to sway their vote. Spin detection. Think doctoring information. Sentiment analysis can help detect attempts to manipulate public opinion through biased language and emotional appeals. It's like having a lie detector for political rhetoric, helping voters see through the spin. But it's not a magic bullet, you know? Sentiment analysis can be powerful, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. It needs to be used ethically and responsibly, with a focus on transparency and understanding the nuances of human emotion. But when used wisely, it has the potential to make elections fairer, more responsive to public sentiment, and ultimately more representative of the people's will.
Okay, sentiment analysis isn't perfect. I think sarcasm, slang, and culture nonsense still confuses AI. These are major challenges into NLP. So, what are the biggest limitations and challenges facing sentiment analysis today?
You're absolutely right to call that out. Sentiment analysis is a powerful tool, but it's still a work in progress. It's
Hmm.
like teaching a computer to understand human emotions, which is, as we know, incredibly complex. Here are some of the biggest hurdles we're still tackling. The sarcasm conundrum. Humans can easily detect sarcasm through tone of voice, facial expressions, and context. For AI, it's a real head scratcher. A sentence like, oh, fantastic, another traffic jam, is dripping with sarcasm, but to an AI, it might simply appear positive. Teaching machines to recognize these subtle cues is an ongoing challenge. Slang and colloquialisms, language is constantly evolving, with new words and phrases popping up all the time, often specific to certain demographics or online communities. An AI trained on formal text might struggle to understand the meaning of a slang term used on TikTok. Keeping up with these linguistic shifts and teaching AI to adapt is a continuous process. Cultural nuances, what's considered positive in one culture might be completely different in another. A thumbs up emoji might signify approval in one country and rudeness in another. Sentiment analysis models need to be trained on diverse datasets to avoid making these cross cultural blunders. The irony factor. Like sarcasm, irony involves expressing one thing, but meaning the opposite. It often relies on subtle cues and shared knowledge, which can be tricky for AI to grasp. Imagine an AI analyzing tweets about a political scandal. A post saying, this is going swimmingly, could be dripping with irony, but without understanding the context, the AI might miss the true sentiment. These are just some of the challenges standing in the way of truly human like sentiment analysis. But researchers are making incredible progress, developing more sophisticated models and incorporating innovative techniques to overcome these hurdles.
Hmm.
It's a fascinating field to watch as AI
Okay,
gets closer to truly
my
understanding the
next
complexities
question
of human
is
language and emotion.
about with AI growing rapidly, sentiment analysis is evolving from basic polarity, positive to negative, in deep emotions and intent detection using large language models. My question is, how is sentiment analysis evolving with advancements in deep learning and large language models like GPT?
You're hitting on something really exciting. Those large language models, the GPTs and their ilk, they're revolutionizing sentiment analysis. Remember how we were talking about sarcasm and irony being tough nuts to crack? Well, these massive deep learning models are getting way better at handling those nuances. Think of it like this. Instead of just looking at individual words, these models can analyze entire sentences and even paragraphs within context. They learn to understand the relationships between words, identify subtle cues, and pick up on those layers of meaning that were previously hidden. They're not just saying positive or negative. They can actually start to identify specific emotions like joy, sadness, anger, or even complex feelings like nostalgia or frustration. Get this. Again, good at figuring out intent too. What's the reason behind the sentiment? Someone expressing support, making a complaint, or trying to persuade others? This is a game changer for things like customer service chatbots, where understanding intent is crucial for providing helpful and relevant responses. But there's a catch. These large models are powerful, but they're also data hungry. They need to be trained on massive data sets of text and code to learn these complex patterns, and that can be a challenge. Still, the progress is truly remarkable. We're moving from basic sentiment analysis to a much richer understanding of human emotion and intent. It's a really exciting time for the field, and I'm eager to see what the future holds.
Mm, exactly how machines advancements can react into human questions. It is miracle. And of all the time I was talking about to my colleagues, to my friends, and in my institutions, like computer is doing great. This artificial intelligence, like sentiment analysis, and nowadays doing a great unprecedented things. But my next question is all about the ethical AI to data sets, and sentiment analysis comes with responsibility. It's crucial to discuss its implication on privacy, fairness, and misinformation. My question is, what are the ethical concerns and risks involved in using sentiment analysis, especially in the large scale?
You're spot on. Okay. This is where the rubber meets the road. The great thing about AI having these breakthroughs is that it opens up amazing possibilities, but it also brings a ton of responsibility. Think of the training data like the ingredients in a recipe. The ingredients are biased or incomplete, the final dish is going to taste off. And sentiment analysis is no different. If we feed AI models data that reflects existing societal biases, they'll learn those biases and perpetuate them, generating biased outputs. Let's say, for example, a model is trained on a data set of online reviews where women's voices are underrepresented or reviews about certain demographics tend to be more negative. That AI could end up making unfair or inaccurate judgments about those groups of people. There are some key things we need to keep in mind. Diversity and representation. It's essential that the data reflects the diversity of human voices and experiences. We need to make a conscious effort to include voices from different genders, races, cultures, socioeconomic backgrounds, and more. 2. Bias detection and mitigation. We need to develop tools and techniques to identify and mitigate biases in both the data and the models themselves. This is an ongoing challenge, but there are researchers developing really innovative approaches. 3. Transparency and accountability. We need to be transparent about how these models are developed and how they work. We also need to have clear mechanisms for accountability when things go wrong. 4. Human oversight. While AI can be powerful, it shouldn't be seen as a magic bullet. Human oversight is crucial to ensure that these systems are used responsibly and ethically. Remember, sentiment analysis is a powerful tool, and with great power comes great responsibility. By addressing these ethical challenges head on, we can ensure that this technology is used for good and benefits all of humanity. Exactly.
Okay,
It's a
sentiment
continuous
analysis
conversation.
is reshaping how we understand opinions, emotions, and human behavior through data. Whether
You
in
nailed it.
uh, whether in businesses, politics, and healthcare, its impact is only growing. If you found this episode insightful, people, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our most content on AI, data, and tech that matters. Thank you very much, Miles, for being here, giving us the great information about sentiment analysis today. We ask the people to share this video, and we want also the feedback from them.
Well, it was my pleasure. Always happy to geek out about AI and all its complexities. And remember, folks, the future is what we make it. Let's make sure it's a thoughtful and ethical one.
Thank you very much. Greatness.